do calculator part 2. I did a sequence sum, and you can read about it on the screen here. But with the calculator, what I did is I put in the first thing I had to get sequence mode. Then I wanted to add up the first 20 terms of 2n minus 9. I found sum by going second stat and go to math, and then do second stat and go to operations. Then you put in the sequence, comma, n, because you need that variable to control what variable you're using, comma low, comma high. Then I can call it back up by going second and enter, and you can call the whole thing up and you can change. Maybe you want to go to the first 200, and you can see that sum. The calculator does it really quickly. So that's kind of a nice way to find some of the sequence. Derivatives. I do want to do this numerical derivative method because it leads to something kind of important. If you would go back to mode and head on down to function. And with the function, I'm going to clear this. And we're going to, I want to double check here. Yeah, this is right. I want to take the derivative of a function. So I'm going to go math. And where's derivative in math? Well, it's 8. Yeah, 8. And derivative. Put in your equation. Nathan, give me an equation. Nathan goes. 6x. And I'm going to go to the 1/3 power. Just to make it a little more interesting. Plus 8, you said. That's not going to work. You know why? It's just going to do that. Try again. Math, and we're going to go 8, and we're going to go 6x to the 1 divided by 3. Oh, now you're talking. Plus 8x squared. Good. All right. And now, this is going to take the derivative of this. Then we have to put comma x, just like we did before with the sequence. And then where do you want the derivative at, Nathan? 6. There you go. So when I hit that, there's what the derivative is. And of course you can go math, frac, see if it's a fraction. I think you can get that. Who cares? You could do that with the slope line, right? But this is handy because here's the part I really want you to be able to do. Go back to y equals. Everybody go to y equals. This is new for you. Okay, do you have a calculator? Okay, move on with somebody. Just lean over to Max so you can see this. Put in sine of x. And whenever we draw a curve, what mode do you have to be in if you're drawing a curve? Radians, or it doesn't work. So you got to be in radians. I'm going to do a double check. Yep, I'm in radians. Yay me. I'm a winner. And so when I go, I'm going to go from 0 to 2 pi. And I'm going to go from -2 to 2. And you know what this is going to look like. It's just going to be a nice little sine curve. What is the derivative of sine? Cosine. So let's see what that looks like. Go down here, and now that you know how to bring up in derivative, go math 8. Oops. Math 8. There we go. And now I'm going to take the sine of x. Now you can type in sine of x. I wouldn't. I would go bars. What's the next button? Y bars. Function. And y1. Now it'll put in y1, comma, x. Okay, now here's the part you got to watch out for. You put the variable, and then you need to put in one more x, because it's the variable in the equation is x, but we're getting a position x. So when you graph this, by the way, did you know how to make it darker, Lonnie? I think you know how to do that. There, now you can differentiate the two. There's the derivative. What's the derivative of sine? Why is it taking so much longer? It's got to plot each of those points. To make it darker? The key to this is make sure you go x comma x. You got to put the double x's in. But that's pretty cool that you can do that. Let's see. You can take derivatives. We've done that. You can find. Yep, we did that. Binomials. Just a quick reminder on binomials. Binomials is like flipping 100 coins. So you go binomial. You would go 100 coins, or n. And the probability of getting ahead is what? 0.5. That's your probability. And then you would go, how many heads do you want? If you flip 100 coins, what do you want to see? 10. See what the probability of that is. That's how many you're picking, right? Okay? You put that into your calculator, you'll get that probability. It'd be pretty small, I would guess. If you want it less than 10, you would go binomial. Oh, by the way, this is PDF. Binomial CDF is what? 100, 0.5, 10. That's the probability of getting 0 to 10, including 10. Okay, so that's the same setup. You just have to realize that it's less than or equal to 10. Okay, normal is never PDF. Normal is always CDF. And with that, you put in your low value, your high value, your what's next, remember? Your mean, and then your standard deviation. And you can do, CDF, I guess. And you can get that. This gives you the area, which is the what? What is the area mean, though, in normal? Very important. Your probability. Wouldn't it be nice if you could know the probability and then get what the x value is? That would be nice. Well, that's what inverse is. Inverse normal. Inverse normal takes the probability. So you have the probability, let's say it's 0.3, okay? And the probability is 0.3, and you know your mean, and you know your standard deviation, then you will figure out what that x is, what that x value is. And that'll actually be the high value. The low will be negative infinity. And I think, box and whisker, you can look at this if you want. I'm not going to take time. But I will take time for a matrice. Do you want to do a quick matrice one? How to solve with the matrice? Okay, let's do that real quick. Take your calculators, everybody. This is a super important one. Everybody needs to be able to do this. We're going to take the matrice A, matrice B, and we're going to find the solution. We can do all kinds of things with it. Let's put them in first. So matrix is second x inverse, and we're going to put in the values. So we got to move over to edit, and that's going to allow us to put the values in. We're going to put in a 3 by 3. Okay, and when I hit enter, I get 9 of those. We're going to do for the 3 by 3, 2, 5, negative 3. 2, 5, negative 3. And then it's going to be 3, negative 4, 1. And then we want to put in 5, 2, negative 7. There you go. And those are all the values for A. How do we put in the 7, 10, 8 for matrix B? Go back to matrix, and put in edit again. And we're going to go down to matrix B here. And this one, 7, 10, how many rows are there? 3. How many columns? 3 rows by columns. There you go. And then you just put in 7, 10, and 8. Okay. And now you have those two. You can do whatever you want. Should we just multiply them and see what happens if you multiply them? You just take second matrix, the name, number 1, there's matrix A. When I hit enter, it'll just put A there, times matrix B. Second matrix, and 2. There's matrix B. And when I multiply them, I get a matrix. Pretty awesome. Let's say that I didn't want to multiply them, I wanted to find the solution. I'm going to go A again, matrix A. And do you remember how to do it? Inverse times B. Is that, you kind of remember that? It's been a while. And when I hit enter, that'll be the solution for those 3 equations, 3 unknowns. That's a skill you really need to know just anytime you want to use it, not just for the test. And I think that's all I have for the calculator. All the